Wherefore, behold, I send you prophets. Therefore, also said the wisdom of God, I will send them prophets. Wherefore or therefore? I think I'm going to go with therefore. There's some more extra statements in Luke at the beginning, so I'm going to have the first word from Luke. Therefore also said the wisdom of God. Then I'll put behold. I will send them prophets, or I send to you prophets. I send to you. I will send to them. In Luke, for some reason, he's talking about them, even though he's still in their presence. But Matthew seems more direct. He's saying you. You killed the prophets. Well, maybe that switch makes sense, because now he's making them imagine God saying what he's going to do for the people. I will send them. But God's not speaking to them, because that's added in Luke. The wisdom of God said, I will send them. So, yeah, okay. So in that case, I will have them. I will. I is both. I will is Luke. Send is both. Them or to them? To them. Prophets and apostles. Matthew has prophets and wise men and scribes. I think I can have all of them. Prophets is both. And apostles first. That's Luke. And wise men and scribes. After that, Matthew continues, and some of them you shall kill and crucify. Luke, some of them they shall slay and persecute. And some of them is both. Luke, they shall. Them you shall. I'm going with they. They from Luke, and then shall from both. Kill and crucify. Luke, slay and persecute. So slay and kill are the same. I think I'm going to go with slay, because in Luke, when he's talking about the reason why, it says, from the blood of Abel to the blood of Zechariah, which perished between the altar and the temple. That is not an accusation against them. He's just saying the blood of Zechariah was there and he died between the altar and the temple. But in Matthew, it says that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel to the blood of Zechariah, son of Berechias, whom you slew between the temple and the altar. And that is an accusation against them. It's not just because Zechariah died. He's not just sending prophets for them to kill so that they are more guilty because Zechariah died. No, it's because they killed Zechariah. And he's talking about John the Baptist's father, not Zechariah who wrote the book of Zechariah. Because remember, John the Baptist's father was a high priest. Because he's saying you killed Zechariah, that's why I would have you slew him in Matthew. I can't have kill and slew. I'd rather have slay and slew. That way it is more connected. So slay and persecute and crucify. That's what I'll do. Slay and persecute from Luke. Now from Matthew and crucify. Luke has that the blood of all the prophets.
Matthew continues, and some of them shall you scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city. All right, this changes things. Some of them shall you. This is how Matthew usually words these sentences. Jesus is speaking directly to the Pharisees. Luke does have that intro at the beginning, therefore also said the wisdom of God, I will send them, which I went with. And some of them, they, shall slay and persecute. I went with that as well. But now there's no third section in Luke to compare with Matthew. Some of them shall you scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city. There's nothing like that in Luke. I can't exchange the you from Matthew with any they or them from this non-existent verse from Luke because it's just not there. I think because now I'm forced to use only Matthew's words, some of them shall you scourge in your synagogues, it would be best to replace those earlier words, they and them, with you from Matthew. I don't want to have to switch between I will send them, some of them, and then all of a sudden, some of them shall you scourge in your synagogues. I'm going to keep it all consistent. It can still work with this intro from Luke. Therefore also said the wisdom of God, I will send you prophets. So Jesus is saying the wisdom of God is sending you Pharisees. Jesus is speaking on behalf of God. He can do that. He can say, God said, I'll send you, instead of keeping it all third person. God said, I'll send them. Behold, I will send to you now instead of them. And some of them you instead of they. Now this last sentence from Matthew. And some of them shall you scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city. So now it all reads, Therefore also said the wisdom of God, Behold, I will send to you prophets, and apostles, and wise men, and scribes. And some of them you shall slay and persecute and crucify, and some of them shall you scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city.